Last year, I made a bold decision to quit my job and the security that came with a regular paycheck in order to follow my intuition and pursue a life of more peace, freedom, and joy. This new venture brought me to Bulgaria. Last May, I sold all my belongings, bought an old car, and drove 12,000 kilometers east. Alone. No kids, no partner, no family or friends here. I really didn't know anyone and was starting from ground up. I started with doing work exchange and volunteer projects in different areas around Bulgaria and slowly built my skills, knowledge, contacts, and confidence. What started as an experiment quickly became my way of living. Instead of pushing myself after a soul-crushing career that led me towards multiple burnouts, I suddenly had all the time in the world to attend to my well-being and do whatever pleases me. And what brings me the most joy is having peace. I found my strength in solitude, something I used to avoid like it was a curse. I embrace slow living not as a trending hashtag, but as the only pace I could actually function at. It became my default setting. My schedule was all of a sudden completely empty, and that felt like the biggest relief. I was liberated from constant demands of a fast-paced work environment, all the deadlines and expectations. I was free. I still wake up every morning grateful I had the capacity to make this crazy decision. No security, no certainty, no backup plan really. Just a dream of a simpler, freer life. A life where I can move at my own pace. Life where I'm in charge of my own time. A life where I put myself first. From the outside, it may actually seem like my life is incredibly boring or even lonely, but I find so much contentment in living alone in these beautiful rural areas. I'm never bored and I never feel lonely. Quite the opposite, actually. There's so much to do around the property, and my list of things I want to tackle, learn, or experience is way too long for just one lifetime. Not to mention, I'm always surrounded with the most loving animals and the most kind and generous people. Here, community still works together to make everyone's life easier, and that's actually one of the main reasons why I chose to come to Bulgaria. There are many more, of course, but more than any practical reason, this place feels like home to me. And aren't we all just searching for home? Not just in a material sense or as being domesticated in one spot, but in a way to feel deep belonging and acceptance, to feel seen as your true self. Those are the feelings we're all after. My choices, my path may not make sense to a lot of people, and it doesn't have to. It makes perfect sense to me, and that's all that actually matters. I'm just grateful I live in a time and place where I'm free to make these decisions, roam the world, and live the way I truly want to live. It's both a privilege and a responsibility. I truly feel blessed to be able to live life on my own terms, peacefully, slowly, freely. Good morning. Welcome back to Bulgaria. It's nice to be back. Although I wasn't looking forward to it. I could easily stay in Morocco. For those who don't know, I just spent 6 weeks in Morocco enjoying what was almost like summer like weather, And when I arrived to Bulgaria, it was very cold. So today, this morning, like I just had to take off my little hoodie. It feels so nice and warm. Oh, fucking glorious. But yeah, I just wanted to show you my new place and take you throughout my day living here in rural Bulgaria alone. Well, I'm not alone. I have two adorable cats. So I'm back to being the cat lady. Dushko, he's a bit special, and Mia, they are BFFs. It's so cute. But yeah, they are my company. I'm obviously here to take care of them, take care of the house, of the property. And the reason why I kind of like rushed back was because yeah, the owner was leaving and they want me to stay here a couple of months. So it's gonna be nice to settle in somewhere, not thinking that in a few weeks I have to leave. For the past 10 days, 2 weeks almost, I've been just settling in here, trying to make it feel my own, like my own house. And yeah, now I'm ready to get on with life. We're gonna see what today brings. The only thing that's gonna be a bit different from a typical day is I have to go to town. I'm gonna go to the farmer's market and to pick up a package, very special package. So I'm super excited. And yeah, welcome into my day here in Bulgaria. At a certain point in my life, I had to make the decision to start prioritizing my health. I've dealt with both mental and physical issues that greatly affected my daily life and how I show up in the world. Not to mention, I'm just simply getting older. So after I cut out all the noise, I was able to tune into my body much easily. I'm not a health freak, not by any means, but I do listen to the subtle nudges and try to do what's best for my well-being. It took me a long time to realize how healing nature is for me, and subtle movement that releases tension, and how powerful meditation is. I'd say these are the three main components that transformed my life from depressed, anxious, and constantly fatigued to calm, happy, and healthy. That's why I try to spend as much time as possible outside, soaking the sun, breathing fresh air, and walking barefoot. I do my best to be consistent with my yoga practice and stretch my body as it wishes to. I meditate almost every morning right after waking up to start my day filled with love, gratitude, and positivity. Little by little, it's how I became stronger. For the first time in my life, I feel like I have everything under control, even if I live in the most uncertain period of my life. The town was extremely busy today. I think because it's Friday and the weather is very nice, like everyone was outside. I don't know if anyone's working in this town, but it looks like today not. So I managed to go get some veggies from the local farmers market. I picked up the package. Now I'm gonna warm up some leftovers from yesterday's lunch and then just enjoy the day. Ooh, I'm gonna unpack the package and try to use what's inside today. Another practice I do religiously is journaling. It's something I've done since I was a kid. Not so much as a mindfulness practice, but because writing is the way I process things and how I express myself. It's basically my creative outlet. I've always been a writer, and until recently, it was a big part of my job. That was until the demands and deadlines drained the creativity out of it. I write to take note of my thoughts and experiences, especially when traveling. I write to process emotions or navigate through life decisions. I write to release stress and worry. I write to manifest my dreams and future projects. I write to simply satisfy my endless need for writing. In Slovenia, we say smart people write, but for me, more than being a practical tool, it's become a form of therapy. Word by word, I heal my soul. I just realized, sitting here listening to all these birds, that I'm at a point in my life where I think it's time to download one of the apps that tells me which bird I'm hearing. I don't know, there's so many though, like, will it be able to tell me like all the birds that I'm hearing? Cuckoo, cuckoo. Meow. This will take forever. And the problem is, it's very heavy. I already can't move my hands. Oh joy. You know what? This and the smell of freshly cut grass is gonna make it all worth it. So I'm estimating it's gonna take me about a week to do this whole garden. I think I need to build some muscle strength, some upper body. That's always been an issue for me. And I think actually what hurts is that you have to be squeezing the power button, and like my whole wrist hurts. And also, yeah, I mean, it's a very cheap trimmer, so the handle with this hand is sliding, so I have to see if I can fix it somehow. I tried to build a harness, like a DIY harness, to put it on a harness, but I don't think that's gonna work. So yeah, I guess until summer I will probably be like very fit. So win-win. I love this time of the day, but you can just feel how it's getting so much colder, so much chiller once the sun gets to like a certain degree. That's the thing about April. You have to change your clothes like 7 times in the same day because it goes from cold to hot to cold again. I feel like, yeah, you've seen so many outfits today. Normally I don't do that, but also like in the house it's very cold, so I'm probably, once the sun goes down, I will probably have to make a fire. We're gonna make it all cozy and nice. One of the things I love most about living alone is having a kitchen all to myself. I need space to prepare my own food, and that space needs to be neatly organized and clean. I lived in shared kitchens for most of my life, and I see how that affects my diet. When I have a proper space to cook, I make a much bigger effort towards eating fresh and healthy meals. I'm not a very good cook, and when you're living alone, you hardly ever want to make an effort to cook yourself any elaborate meals. So things like a clean kitchen matter. I'd say I have a list of a few staple, easy to make dishes that I regularly prepare. I put on some music and move to the beat while I cut the veggies. It's rare that I feel excited about cooking just for myself, but whenever I do, it makes me feel really good about myself, especially if the dish turns out better than I expected. I also believe that making a healthy, nourishing meal for yourself signals to your brain that you're worth making an effort for, which is so important for one's self-esteem. Food is love, and we all deserve love in the purest form. The sun has set a while ago, actually. I had dinner, and now I'm kind of like ready to just lay down and, yeah, have an early night. Watch some videos, watch season 1 of Dexter. And that's it for today. So, good night.